the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I believe everybody's had a chance to look over the minutes.
Yep.
First by legislator Twist, second by legislator Walpole. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries. That's all. On to resolutions. Resolution GC 2, resolution creating one position in the public defender's office. First by legislator Halls, second by legislator Twist. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries, thank you. GC 3, resolution deleting one position in the clerk of the legislature. Resolution deleting one position in the clerk of the legislature budget. First by legislator Twist, second by legislator Halls. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries.
Make a motion, we move PS3, PS4, PS5, and PS7 in the block.
And second by legislator Walpole. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries. Thank you. HS2, resolution for budget modification to move funding from Division of Mental Hygiene to Veterans Service Agency. First by legislator Twist, second by legislator Walpole. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries, thank you. HS3, resolution authorizing acceptance of rental supplement program speed funds and approving a budget modification for Department of Social Services. First by legislator Twist, second by legislator Halls. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries, thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to remove EP2, EP3, EP4, 5, 6, 7, and 9 as a block.
For the first, second by legislator Walpole. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries. Thank you. HE2, resolution accepting funds from the University of Washington.
We got some salary for EP6. We just, in the original. What does come?
Yeah.
Why do you invite me to this meeting?
Yeah.
Is that,
I got it.
thank you.
Yeah.
You set the salary later than we inserted in the resolution.
Yeah. That's after.
Fair enough.
Stay in your lane.
No more. HE2, resolution accepting funds from University of Washington for chart study. First by legislator Walpole, second by legislator Halls. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to move IT 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 as well.
We're gonna have first. Second by legislator Walpole. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries. Thank you very much. On to F&P. FP1, resolution fixing time and place for public hearing relative to proposed County of Oswego local law number 4, 2026, entitled a local law imposing an occupancy tax upon short-term rental units within the County of Oswego. First by legislator Walpole, second by legislator Hollis. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Carries, thank you. FB2, resolution urging the governor and state legislature to address rising mandated costs by ensuring county parity with increased municipal aid. First by legislator Twist, Second by legislator Walpole. Any discussion? It is. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries. Thank you very much. I would like to address that a little bit. Administrator Church brought this forward because of the NISAC resolution in parity. Because there's some discrepancies in what is going to be coming to us since as of late last year, we lost our AIM funding and there seems to be no reciprocation on that side. I just kind of wanted to bring it forward. We have FP3 is a walk-on. I believe you all have it. This is a resolution authorizing council to execute a stipulation of settlement to settle Chapter 13 bankruptcy matter. This went through and has been vetted through Rich's office. Thank Christy for getting this all together. This is going to go through the treasurer's office. Any discussion? Or first by legislator Walpole, second by legislator Twist. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries. Thank you. On to FP4. Walk on, I believe you all have this in your possession. Resolution authorizing Oswego County Chairman of the Legislature to apply for and accept and expend grant funds from the Northern Borders Regional Commission. Unfortunately, we just received this information yesterday morning. Yeah, yesterday. Very time sensitive. First by legislator Walpole, second by legislator Twist. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries. Thank you very much. On to committee review and decision. We have to set salary for emergency management specialist. This is out of EMO. Kit Van Tessel put this forward. Julie, you want to speak on this a little?
Yeah, I mean, this was vetted for our department. It was a really good candidate that she found for this position, and I think it's really reasonable the salary that she's looking to request.
Very good. And that's mid-range, what is it, 59,738.
Yeah, and it looks like it's be effective April 13th, so.
We got a first by legislator Walpole, second by legislator Holst. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Carries. Thank you. We have one last walk-on. Set the salary. This is for a telecommunications program administrator. Establishing salary $72,684. This was vetted through Julie's office and comes out of planning and tourism. Got a first by legislator Walpole, second by legislator Twist. Yes, sir?
No, like, you had a chance to go through all this, you're good with everything?
I did, yes,
Oh,
I
just
did.
checking, I
At
looked
some
I
point,
looked through it, I
I
looked through it
did.
briefly, and I said, wait a minute,
Yeah,
wanted to make sure you went through
back to the fact, but yes, I did.
it. Understood.
Very good. Very good. Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries. Thank you. On to reporting departments. We'll start off with Julie.
So looking at the packet that was included, we always put in the position vacancy report. This was as of, I think it's March 13th, but the savings to date, the same, is $1,255,551, and it's roughly 47,000 less than this time last year, but I'm thinking because majority of positions were getting filled and departments are doing really well in that aspect. And then also that was included, we usually do our activity summary for 2025. So just to point out a few things, given that we have not held many civil service exams, really it's only the public safety, like correction officer, patrol officer, and probation. It was about 54 less exams that our department administered, and about 566 employees less than what we had last year, so which is because we don't have any exams. We had a decrease in the certification eligibles, down about 80, which is interesting. Well, those are only used for exam purposes anyway, so since we're not giving competitive exams, that makes sense. We increased our participation in like our mock interviews and career fairs by like 13 more than what we gave last year, so we're definitely getting out and doing more career fairs and participating in the college classes to speak, about civil service and positions at the county, and which is good, give an awareness for that. We doubled our union grievances for some reason, but they're all, basically all settled and didn't really have any major issues, but they were definitely grievance happy. We doubled that to go along with that, our counseling and disciplinary actions, working with departments, that was doubled from last year as well. The family medical is increased, about 87 more people utilizing the family medical and non-leave of absences, so it does create a lot more work for my admin secretary. She handles all of that. And then also our training classes, which is a good thing. All of our employees were more compliant to participating in completing the compliance training, so that was doubled. So currently we held 17,197, so that was doubled from last year, which is great. People are doing their trainings. And then our FOIL requests were tripled from last time previously. So I was just really interested to see, that data that we compiled. So.
Very good. Thank you. Go.
Good afternoon. First state budget, it was due yesterday. They don't have it, so it's a day late. There are three primary topics, from my understanding, that are holding things up. One is disagreement over climate action plan that the governor wants to do to push back some of the deadlines. Second is taxation in New York City, funding for New York City. The mayor wants to increase taxes, income taxes in New York City, and certain earners, requires state legislatures approval to do that, so that's holding things up. The other is the Tier 6, which I think I brought up last month. Public unions are pushing for reforms to Tier 6 retirement to sort of change it more to mirror Tier 4. This is going, there's no solid written proposals out yet, just from the rhetoric of what people have been saying and the public rallies. They're looking at moving the retirement age younger to match Tier 4, and there's another major component which is escaping me right now. Contributions, yes. Don't know where that's going to go. That's the one out of these three that affects us the most, because if they return to Tier 4, it's going to cost the state and all municipal employers more money per employee. So that's the one to watch for this. On my monthly report, I think I handed out to everybody. I won't go through the whole thing, just 2 or 3 things to highlight. We're working on finalizing the capital plan for 2026. We'll have that ready for you at your next meeting. As I mentioned at infrastructure meeting, tracking electricity and gas expenses because of what's been happening in our economy lately. 25% of the year's gone by, 38% of our electricity and gas accounts are expended because of the rising prices. A little bit of that might be winter season, so usually a little bit ahead of the calendar year, but that's a lot. So I think we're probably going to end up needing to do a budget round later this year, before the end of the year, to make sure we can pay for all these, because they'll come down eventually, but maybe not this fast. In the audit department, there's a correction on the report, 1,600 vouchers in March, not January, it's the March report. So in March, the audit staff audited over $10.5 million of expenses for accuracy and appropriateness to make sure they're right kind of charge. They prepared a spreadsheet on National Grid electricity bills in anticipation of the meeting that you all had in National Grid here the other day. It was a major project. They did a good job putting all that together. And they audited daycare expenses at DSS, so we get a better handle on what those costs may be going forward with changes to the child care block grant next year. We participated in the editorial board with Syracuse.com. It resulted in a positive editorial from them promoting Oswego County as a site for nuclear construction. There is a bill being dropped in the legislature to put a moratorium on nuclear construction. We've been able to determine that that has more to do with local politics in New York City than anything real that might happen to affect us. So we're not too worried about that, but keeping an eye on it. Some of you who maybe been here for several years know that many years ago we produced a POM card with 3 of the county's hotlines on it. Taking a look at that, realized it was out of date, so our office has updated those with actually 6 or 7 hotlines. So at your next legislature meeting, you'll all get a packet of those, so you can begin giving those out again with the updated hotline numbers. This is suicide hotline, drug task force, child abuse, those types of things. We met with Senator Schumer's staff advocating for county projects such as SOCRIS, nuclear and Medicaid, the SNAP Medicaid issue, marine sanctuary, FEMA reimbursements, and other grant opportunities, so that they have it on their radar to help us get anything they can. Other than that, your budget mod variance reports are attached. I'm happy to answer any questions now, or if you get a chance to read through this, give me a call.
Anybody have anything, questions for Bill? Hearing none, we'll move on to David Werner.
Thank you, Chairman. So in front of you is the sales tax analysis. I actually did 2 of them. I did the calendar method, which shows 1.2, almost 1.3 million. Which is very, I believe it's pretty good. And then, but I also, because now is the time that we had to do some accruals. Really from this year, the accrual, when we do the accrual method, money goes back to last year. And we're only up 328,000. Still fine.
Thank you.
You want the floor?
Please.
Oh.
I have another one.
Bless you. Anyway, so I just wanted to show you, that's why, some people get confused when they, the state comes out and says, we're having this percentage, but really we have to move some back because of those previous, really, the accrual method that the state gives us. And then you got your reserves, they're just minor changes, but they're definitely getting up there where they're pretty good, I think.
Don't worry, we'll be hitting that.
That's good. But what I did really wanted to show you was, I had our meeting with 3+1. We do a quarterly meeting with 3+1. And on the last page, it shows you just a real quick graph. We're not going into the deep dives, but there is a purple line. You'll see it's the tallest line in the graph. That was our daily. This is our daily balances. That was 3 years ago. The yellow line is 2 years ago. And the green, which is most of it, most of the page, is last year. What do we see? we see, if you look at the beginning, you look at 3 years ago, we had a lot more. 3 years ago, we had a little less, and then last year we had even a little bit more left. I think that was brought to the committee, everybody's understanding that we have to get back, this was funds that were being put in and moved around, but whatever, there's a lot of factors that play in that. So, this is going to start leveling off to where we're almost back to, I don't want to say normal, but it's going to be nice to use this as a future, like a year from now, 2 years from now, to see where you're going to probably start seeing the stabilize. Not a big deal, because I want you to look at the last part of the graph, the little very end on the right, and up above it says, as of February 28th, balances were up 8.5 million year over year. So we're up 8.5 now versus where we were last year. Does that mean anything? Probably not, because it's a bouncing ball. It could change next week with one payroll or who knows what. So, but it's definitely positive. It's definitely moving. It's kind of interesting to see that, because in the previous 2 years, it dropped. So to see that bump, and also 3+1, they do obviously do a great job of keeping us transparent with our funds and where all our money is. In case some people wonder if we think we're going to run out, how do we know? We know we're going forward. And as you can see, we're really pretty healthy.
They've done a really good job for us.
And I want to say that interesting thing as well is interest on earnings. Roughly last year, we made about $20,000 every day the treasurer's office was open. Interest. This is starting to drop. It's about
You open up
16
Saturday?
I did. Only time we're open. Yeah, I had to skew the number some way, Jim. 70. But anyways, every day we were open, we made about 20 grand on interest for our investments, which now it's starting to go to 16,000. But the good news is, obviously we know, right? We were getting 6%, now we're getting around 4%. But the interesting thing that's happening now is treasurers are starting, more municipal lenders are starting to get into treasuries. So we don't really do a lot of the treasurers. Don't need to, didn't need to because of the rate. But I think we're going to start, hopefully if we can start building some treasuries into our investment and maybe keep that up. And the keynote for people that haven't been here, when I started 8 years ago, our interest on earnings was about $180,000 a year, which is about $7 a day. Obviously the interests are a lot better now, and obviously it fluctuates very much.
Chico, your first.
I just wanted to commend you on your efforts, because going back a couple of years, I remember you saying certain things. You said, don't get comfortable with this. This is going to change this. And I saved a lot of these.
Yeah.
And you were accurate on things. You said, don't get used to this going this way. It's probably going to go roughly. Dave knows what I'm talking about.
We've been,
And
yeah.
But it's a whole team. I know the county administrator, we always communicate. We know where we fit in.
The biggest thing that I've seen, especially with the sales tax analysis, that really that gives you it's a broad view. I get it, but we've seen it where we haven't seen any growth, any increase, nothing, and then all of a sudden, almost like clockwork, you got to give it time. It'll catch up. It'll come back, and it generally does. So at least we've stayed pretty steady across the board, knowing kind of where we were going to be. That's been
Yeah. And it's for longevity. I think for the administrator, we've been through some bad times.
Between the two of you, I know you've gone through quite a bit of this
So-
stuff, but you were accurate on it.
Go ahead.
What is 3+1?
3+1 is like, I call them a third-party vendor for us, that they deal, when I first started, a lot of the transparency was not in the treasurer's office. Number one, people will say, where's our money, what's going on, where's this, oh, you're hiding it all, even in my shoebox. 3+1 offers a lot of things, and what they do is they actually have the listing of all our bank accounts, where they are, and they can negotiate with banks that I have trouble with, because I may know I may know the CEO, I may have difficulty trying to get another point or whatever. They actually know what's out in the marketplace across the state, across the nation. They're nationwide. So they bring that to the table, and then there's a transparency that if somebody comes to me and says, where is it? Transparency there, 3+1 is able to, they do not tell us how to invest. They do not tell us where to put it. They just give us the options to invest. Not the options, they just give us the areas if we want, do not tell us how to do it. And
We were, and this goes back to Phil and Kevin can absolutely chime in on this anytime. We would have accounts where we were at a 2%, interest, and after 2+1 came on board, they were showing us where we could make a much better percentage rate here, there. But like Kevin said, never told us you need to do this or you need to do that. Showed us the information where we were, where the eligibility was to invest, and it's paid dividends greatly for us along the way.
And the service you pay for is based on the interest rate.
Oh, that's interesting.
So it's not like they can get paid and then walk away. So it was interesting, we were one of the first counties, I think back then, or one of the first few counties that actually accepted them, and now they've taken off across the nation. And there was an article on nationally about it. So, kind of
I
interesting.
know the decisions that you've made along those lines have showed.
Well,
You've done great.
my next decision may not be, we are.
Great.
Just to notify the committee, I'm trying to move my office to a 4-day work schedule.
Wait, make it 20,000 a day.
Yeah.
No, they're gonna be open 5 days, but the staff arrangements, the way we're doing it, is going to be, it's still hours are covered, everything per the Constitution, whatever, we gotta be open. Obviously, it's to retain employees, they all signed off on it, I submitted it, to HR, all the employees signed off. We're gonna try it for the summer, anyone can back out at any time, whether it's management, whether it's the employees. It's 4 days a week, and, it doesn't seem like a heavy lift, although we are one of the larger departments that are actually gonna try it. And if it's successful, let's see what happens. I can't guarantee anything in that, but I think it's a good idea to try. Like I said, you should be a seamless operation. You shouldn't see any difference.
Keep us posted.
I think,
Julie, are there any union concerns with that?
They were already notified
Okay.
for like contractual obligation, and it's kind of been elected, all the employees agreed to it, so that definitely works in their favor as well. So it's a trial period, it's rotational, there's always going to be staff there regardless, it's just we're doing a schedule, and Kevin had it all charted out already, and so they're definitely aware that it's a trial period, so. Yeah.
Should look.
No, I think that's great that you're doing that, because as you know, with the negotiations and different things, sometimes there's things you're stepping out and trying to make it work, and things that don't really cost money, it's just you're changing your hours, and if everything's getting done without anything, it's keeping everybody happy, obviously, if the employees wanted it too. Hopefully it spreads to other departments, if there's things that can be done like that to make it.
Purchasing does it.
yeah, the employees get 4 days off every 2 weeks. So they get a long weekend, plus their normal week.
Thinking outside the box.
It's not a bad thing.
Yeah, oh,
So like I said, the bonds, I'll be more than happy to follow the sword.
Well, again, you don't know unless you try. So, I mean, keep us, like I said, keep us advised.
And the foreclosure will be, resolution will be come to the legislature next month, or we'll do the auction end of June, I think.
Very good.
That's it, thank you.
Purchasing.
Okay, so I have 2 reports in the packet. One is a status report of arbitration RFPs. March was a very busy month. Other one is just the stats, and it looks like more and more departments are coming on board with doing requisitions and purchase orders, because we're almost 50% of what we did last year at the end of March. And then it just lists the contracts, the bids, the RFPs that go through our office. Also, right now, every year I review purchasing policy to see if I need to update anything, so I'm working on that right now, and hopefully I'll have some suggestions for updates next meeting. And also, yeah, purchasing did that. It's 4-day work week and alternating, so you're open 5 days a week. And the employees like it, it doesn't cost us anything. And by rotating, they do get 4 days off every other week. Because I have a much smaller department than Kevin.
Bill, your number seems to be going up because I know a couple of years ago, he said, we only got about 20%
Yeah,
going through it.
yeah,
I know it's been a struggle,
it, you
but
know,
you're getting on board.
not forcing anybody, but little by little, they're coming on board.
Well, you put a lot of effort into working with them, making sure they get on board, both know the system.
I have a great staff, so that helps.
Nobody ever likes change, it seems.
No, people hate change.
We want change, but we don't want change.
I did notice that the numbers going up from the last time you said that, hey, 20-something, we're working.
Yeah.
It's a good job.
And Mr. Chairman, real quick,
Yes, sir.
on that 4-day, the kicker that helped me out all the while was being 35 hours. I vote, 40 hours, some people still don't realize we don't do 40 hours a week.
Right.
But by doing 35, you're only here probably, it doesn't
Right.
change much to work 4 days versus 5. You had another 5 hours on it, kind of makes a big, very, just something to think about.
Very good. Continue.
I would entertain the appropriate motion. So we have first by legislator Twist, second by legislator Holst. All in favor?
All right.
Any opposed? Carried, we are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.